This is the Healy Brothers Podcast.
So today's episode is going to be about flat rate pay. It's a little controversial. Some managers think we shouldn't do flat rate pay. Some should be salary, vice versa. But this all came up over a podcast or episode we did with Bill and Brian Gingold. It was, right?
No, Ben Carlson.
Oh, Ben Carlson. Sorry. So Bill and Ben Carlson, our service director at Ford in Poughkeepsie, and we were talking about multi-point inspections. Then we talked about how people get paid and how important a multi-point inspection is and how they should review them to the fullest. But today we're really going to break into flat rate because we got a lot of feedback on that. Probably one of our best performing episodes ever. Best performing content is that technician content. So first off, welcome to the Healy Brothers Show. We got Bill Vittorini, our service director at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram down the street in Beacon. Then we got John Paraggio, a service director at Healy Chevrolet in Poughkeepsie, also a director of wholesale and some other things for the group. So just let's start fresh here and let's just do a little introduction on what you do at Chrysler and how you pay your technicians, all that stuff. And then we'll move to, I know Healy Brothers is flat rate, but then we'll move to you and then we'll jump into the episode here. So Bill, if you just want to lead off.
I think it's a good pairing here too, because a lot of the stuff that I did learn from JP.
Okay.
So some of the techniques
helps.
that we use, and I was able to see how these different tactics really do work. Flat rate pay can be scary for a technician who hasn't had it before, but once you get them to buy into it and believe it and see it in action, it always works out to their benefit, without a doubt. And as far as the group, it also works out to their benefit because you're going to be driving up production. The technicians are going to feel driven. Obviously, the more they can put out, the more they're going to be able to feed their family.
Yeah.
So. And
can you just give the breakdown? Sorry. And how many technicians you have at the store? How many are quick loop to technicians to level A, B?
Right. Yeah. So we've got 11 technicians at the store now, 3 being quick lube. Even the quick lube technicians are flat rate.
Okay.
Their pay plan's unique, but it gets them into that mentality, that dealership mentality of this is how I'm to be expected to work in the shop. This is how I'm going to produce a paycheck. This is why every car is an opportunity for me, and they can look at it as such.
Yep. And then also both stores, they work on trucks, diesel as well. So there's a different range from when flat rate starts from to
yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Just
So
want to give that range.
Chrysler used to be a level 1 to level 0 to a level 3. They've done away with the skill levels now. You just have to get through phasing. Once you get through level 3 phase, you're able to do any repair in the shop. They just monitor it for comebacks. If you're not skilled in that particular area, then they're just going to have you stop working in that area, go to school for training until you're brought back up to speed, and then you can resume.
And then where does your flat rate begin for your quick lube to, and then what's your highest paid flat rate technician?
So for Express, we're doing our entry-level flat rate techs at about $20, but again, their pay plan is unique in a sense where their production hours, they're paid at a higher rate. The highest technicians are, highest skilled technicians are upwards close to the $50 range.
And they're only increasing, they're only getting better based on quality of work and how much work you get done as well.
For sure.
I'm sure you have bonuses that are always in there. And then there's also the teamwork bonuses as well for your store, right?
Right. I mean, flat rate is just the
beginning of it.
Beginning of their pay plan.
Until the add-ons.
There's so many spiffs, tiers, bonuses.
And then group work too is a big part of it too. Like the group's got to carry their load to get their bonuses.
For sure. And you've got shop foremans who also have a unique pay plan, and they're there to help the guys and mentor them. So, I mean, there's way too many aspects of a pay plan to make it sound easy. But when you put it on paper, it makes a lot of sense, and it's very beneficial.
All right, JP. So now if you could just break down how your shop layout is, quick lube, technicians, master techs, and all that stuff, because I know we have a lot of them, and you work really hard to really hire the different levels to make sure they grow a career here.
Pretty similar to Bill's. We have the same, broad skill sets from entry-level guys to, master technicians. But the key is what you were saying about their pay plan having different levels. So when you talk about their income at the end of the year, it just compounds it because you're getting your pay for the hours that you produced, and you're getting bonuses. We have apprenticeships, mentorships, group bonuses. And when you look at just that hourly rate, like he said, from $20 to $50, it's not a fair number to provide because some guys are earning like another $10 or $15 an hour based on all those other bonuses and incentives that they get. So
I guess we should refer to that as the base pay of what they're earning for fixing cars.
Right, their base pay per hour. But yeah, we bring people in at flat rate right from the beginning to get them acclimated with it so that they can gauge their production and right from day one. But we guarantee them a 40-hour paycheck. So if they make less than 40, we're still going to pay them 40 hours. But the weeks when even an entry-level guy that's only with you a couple of months can have a good week where he's proficient and make 48 or 47 hours, he's going to get paid that 47 hours.
And there's also other things we do for beginner techs, like don't be scared of flat rate if you want to come work for us and start a career. There's other things like with the tool program and all that stuff that we do as well.
Yeah, we bring people on and offer tool assistance programs. I mean, at the Chevy store, we buy, I don't know, it's like a $12,000 starter snap-on set. I think I have 4 technicians now on that program where they came in, they didn't have any tools, so we bought them tools. They signed a contract with us. There are tools. They get to use them for 3 years, and if they're with us at the 3-year mark, we hand them the second set of keys, and the box and the tools are theirs.
Yeah, and I think every store has their own little tweak of how they negotiate with technicians, but we're willing to keep you. We're willing to make things work with you as well. But don't be scared of the flat rate. There's guarantees around, and there's pay like that. And also, we do all the training necessary so you can have a career and you make a pretty damn good living at the end of the day. So
I think a really cool thing though that JP was able to teach me that helps a technician who's new to flat rate is keeping score and tracking their proficiency and showing it to them every week. So originally, we would just say, this is what you produced. Good job. Here's your paycheck. But when you can show them on paper, this is how many hours you were physically here and available, and this is how many hours you produced, and this is the percentage of, overage that you really did in that time frame. For me, I'm a competitive guy. I like to see that. I want to beat myself. I want to be a high percentage. So some technicians are going to feel the same way, but in the same breath, when they're like, oh man, I only made 40 hours. Well, look, you were only here 32. Remember you left early that one day. Oh yeah, great. Okay, so my percentage is this, and showing them that weekly really keeps them engaged.
So I want to take one step back here. Let's just describe and lay out what flat rate actually is. So if one of you guys just want to take and just really describe that to the audience. Hey, this is flat rate. Say a beginning technician. They've never come they were at a valve lead. They're getting paid hourly. How would you break it down and explain to that technician if they're coming on, they want to start a career and they really want to be a master tech and work on engines, trannies, and all that stuff?
Well, I mean, the key for the dealer group to have technicians on flat rate is that they're self-motivated, and we don't have to like cattle prod them to get them to move on to the next job, because the incentive for them is flat rate. There's a book time for every job they perform on a car, and if they could do it quicker than that, they're still going to get paid what that allotted time is. So if they're doing a steering repair on a car and it pays 4 hours, they're going to get 4 hours pay regardless of even if it took them only 3.
Yeah. So in a simple way, it's better than hourly. So you're not just working 8 hours a day, and whatever you get done, you get paid. This is, you could be more efficient, be a very high quality skilled technician, and do a job more efficiently. It takes 6 hours, but you do it in 4. So you're really earning over, and that's where your proficiency goes up. So just to break that down a little bit, so the audience can understand why we do it that way.
Now, in total transparency, it can go the other way.
Exactly.
Right? We can have a 6-hour job that took 8, but with the Healy culture, we take care of our guys, right? So if somebody got beat up on a job, we're going to make sure the next one they get, maybe a used car or something like that, is going to help cushion them and get them back on track.
Yeah, still it depends too why the job went sideways. A lot of guys are afraid the job goes sideways and it's on them because it had rusty bolts or broken bolts. That's all extra time. That's it, not in that set 4 hours. So if he's working on a job and a bolt breaks, that's additional time that he gets. So he doesn't have to pay for that. It's just if he didn't do the base job in the allotted amount of time.
Right.
Yeah. And there's other things that happen where, say, like a shop foreman's doing a job and he has to go help someone or something like that. Those little things, we don't penalize you for that stuff all the time. And then let's just start talking about the pros of flat rate, and then we'll get into what you guys hear for some technicians when they say, "Oh, I want salary" and all that stuff. What are the biggest pros in your mind for flat rate?
The biggest pro is you're setting your own goal for what you want to earn a year. So I mean, when I was a flat rate tech, and I was for about 18 years, I set my goal that if I was averaging 55 or 60 hours a week, I never wanted to make less than that. So if you continuously make at least your average or better, your score is going to constantly go up, your average is going to go up. But I was able to say, if I just could produce another 5 hours more a week, do it a little more work, maybe come in a little early, get a head start in the morning, I can make another $10 or $15 or $20,000 a year.
Which is insane to think about.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you're kind of in control of your own destiny.
Yeah, there's no
career.
ceiling.
Yeah,
there's no ceiling.
You're like your own boss at the same time. As long as work's flowing in, which all our stores seem to have plenty of work flowing in, there's never a shortage.
Yeah, you drive past any of our stores and take a look
there's
at
never
a
a shortage. Yeah. So, I mean, and I think most technicians at the end of the day, they want to be in control of their destiny. I think I think most Americans are people when they work. They want to be in control of their destiny. They just don't want to. I know there's some people that just want to go to 9 to 5, but I think there's a lot of hungry people that really want to earn a living and say, hey, like I'm gonna go make some extra money this week, or I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna put in 40 hours, but I'm gonna work 60 hours.
Right. I'm not scheduled Saturday, but I'm gonna come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and we're not capping anyone too. They earn as much as they want. It's not like, oh, you made this much today, no more, kind of a thing, which I think is great.
And that's a corporation benefit too. I mean, the more they produce, the more we pay them, the more the company's earning as well. So it's hurting nobody and only benefiting everyone.
Yeah.
So
as long as they're doing the work right, but our guys, I bet, are some of the highest quality guys around. They don't mess up. Really.
Healy Brothers got a high standard.
Yeah, our standards like through the roof. It's not like we're having a 16-year-old kid from the street just come in here and put an engine in or anything like that.
No, and that kid can start here, but he'll be mentored.
Yeah.
He'll be taught the right way.
Yeah. So what are some of your pros for flat rate when you hear from your guys?
Well, for sure, I agree with John. I think a big thing is just the fact that they will quickly become driven. When you hire, younger technicians, today's day and age, things have changed significantly, right? I was always a hungry worker no matter where I was. But when they see the benefit or the opportunity of what they could potentially earn based off production, they're just going to become a worker. They're not going to stand around and lean against the wall and play on their cell phone. They're going to make hours.
Yeah. And as long as they love it too. Like a lot of guys we have, they're just such car junkies that they want to work on cars and it comes easy to them. If I went to go work on a car, I wouldn't drive it after, to be honest.
Right.
I love cars, but I'm not going to work on them. You don't want to drive it after.
It's a benefit to the customer too, because in the end they're getting their car done quicker. I mean, you could be in some industries and you could see there could be 5 people working on a project and really only one of the 5 are working. You don't see that in this industry in a car dealership. There's 5 guys in the shop. All 5 guys are working on customers' cars, trying to meet deadlines, promise times for customers, and get their cars back on the road.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's important for the customers. Customers' cars are their livelihood. That's how they get to work. Like everywhere here, you can't walk to work here. You really can't. So
And being brand specific is what leads to some of that proficiency. It's not these guys taking shortcuts. It's not these guys just slamming things together and shipping it down the road. They're trained by the factory. They work on this car day in, day out. They know the product. They know what tools they need to have out ready for that job. I mean, I can tell you how many times I've done, a cylinder head gasket where it's like, I know exactly what set I need. I put them on my car. I roll it to the car. I never have to walk to my toolbox. So all of that is what leads to the proficiency. It's not these guys rushing through jobs.
Yeah, and on top of that, they're more than technicians now. They're like tech guys. Like everything's hooked up to the computer. They have to know how to read the schematics and all that stuff. It's wild what they have to know how to do with a computer. Right. It blows my mind. Like they're mostly knowing like how to figure out stuff by engineering stuff through a computer. It's super, super impressive now. It's not simple.
And they still have to have the old school. They got to understand nuts and bolts and how to take things apart and put them together. So they got to know both ends of it.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. All right, so now the part where everyone goes back and forth. I think we got a lot of comments, Nikki, right, about oh my God, salary, like why should you have to work like that and all that crazy stuff. So when you hire a new person, I'm sure you guys get it. Is why aren't you guys just salary? I know we do the guarantees, but what are some of the negatives that you hear and that you see? Like, why can't I just get the same paycheck every week? Because I know you guys. I'm sure you guys hear it when you do.
I've never heard a negative when hiring somebody. Switching somebody off of hourly to flat rate is where I would get the most pushback because they were comfortable, they had a cushion, right?
And what does that conversation go like? What do you?
As far as the switch,
yeah.
You have to show their earning potential. And that was something I got from John. There's a technician pay plan calculator that we can put together and show them, you're working 40 hours, you're getting paid for 40 hours right now at $20 an hour. If we increase you to $22 an hour, but we bring your guarantee down to 36 hours, right? You're still going to make this at the end of the week. So you're losing nothing. But now you're gaining opportunity because if you can make up those 4 hours at the end, you're going to make more money. And, you could slowly back them off of that guarantee and slowly increase their earning. But once you physically can show them what their earning potential is, that's where you start to get the buy-in. The fear kind of goes away. They start to, understand. They see all of their mentors in the shop working on that pay plan, and they wouldn't be here if it didn't work.
And what are some of the mentors saying? Obviously, they're telling them like, "Hey, this is it's your own destiny," kind of thing. Or how is that conversation? Because you hear it all the time.
Exactly.
You guys both hear it in the shop. So.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. There's double up on cars. Put a car behind your bay, and that'll get a flash while you're doing the repair on this one. And it's just those ways to beat the clock, and the guys are in the shop are very much involved with the newer hires in showing them how to become productive.
We actually lay out a 5-year earning path for them, because years ago when we didn't do that, had technicians coming in, they were leaving. One actually still works for me now, Braden. He was leaving to kind of defect from the dealership flat rate to go work somewhere and make it was a couple of dollars more an hour. And he thought that was really beneficial to him. And this kid went to a vocational school, really was invested in his career, but he was kind of giving up on it and going to shift gears. But I was like, well, don't you realize that if you do your training and you can earn, $10, $15 more per hour, and you could be productive and make 45, 50 hours a week, you could probably double your income in a couple of years. And he had no idea that he was able to do that. And I realized that's because no one ever told him. So that's when we started plotting out, every employee that works with me, we plot out a 5-year kind of earning potential and show them some goals they could set for training and production. They could really see where they can go from $40,000 or $45,000 a year as an entry-level tech to making 80 or 90 in just a couple of years. What other industry is going to do that? You go somewhere and you work salary, you're going to get, a 3% raise maybe a year? Maybe if you get promoted because you really are showcasing some skills, you're going to get a 15% increase. There isn't an opportunity anywhere where in a few years you can double your income.
Right.
Yeah, and it's only going to go up from there. The more skilled you get, the more you earn, the harder stuff you work on. Like some of these big diesel trucks, especially in the Ford Truck Center, like these guys are like, we couldn't operate without them too. So it's like it goes both ways, but they're making a killing.
Yeah.
They're making huge livings,
Because
and it's
they're
like
compensated.
and people don't even know.
They're compensated well for their skill set.
Yeah.
So they're probably earning almost $50 an hour on their base pay, and then they're skilled and proficient, so they're making it on both ends.
Yeah. But it's like so well deserved. Obviously, it's such a needed craft, but I think people get so lost at how much you could really earn working and fixing on cars, understanding vehicles. And it's like, I just wish there was a better understanding like that. So the biggest misconception from what I'm hearing is people just don't understand how flat rate works and your potential thing. They're just thinking, oh my God, like how am I going to make that money? First off, the work is always going to be there. We have the work for you to do. Yeah. So I think that's another thing where people are like, oh my God, if I go there, do they have enough work? I mean, I know you both could say there's plenty of work coming in. And then on top of that is the explanation of it. And then also is we're giving you the training and guidance when you get there. Like I think that's like the biggest thing. And you see it online, all these people bashing. And it's mostly from like the small garages and stuff like that, the salary guys or the body shop guys that are salaried. Like our techs are nicely whooping your ass when it comes to pay and getting stuff done.
For
sure. So I think that's like it's just a frustrating misunderstanding, and I'm sure you guys hear it and see it all the time. And there's other car dealers that do it too, which doesn't make sense to me.
I would say it's a unique pay plan. So it's definitely interesting for somebody here for the first time, especially if they're new to the industry or maybe they came from an independent. It's unique. There's no other job in the market that I know of that pays similar other than owning your own business. You get paid for your production. You went and installed the countertop. You're getting paid for that job. So in a sense, you're running your own business.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
are
was saying before.
totally in charge of how much you want to make.
The only thing we have to do is send you vehicles to work on. That's
right.
The only thing is make sure we have customers and as our brand doesn't mess up. That's like the most important thing.
Right.
And unapplied time. I mean, every one of our shops has some form or process to compensate technicians for unapplied time. So we have our dispatcher do it, our production manager. Nobody else has to get involved. If a technician goes to him and just explains why, and it could be that he went down the wrong diagnostic path and he turned left when he should have went right and he wasted 3 or 4 hours. The production manager's empowered to just pay him those 4 hours. They give a note to payroll every week for what technicians get on applied time. So we are there to help them when something does go south or if they do go the wrong direction.
Or even training hours.
Yeah.
If it's a new technician and he's on a new job and this particular, repair requires hands-on assistance from somebody, or it's their first time doing the job and it really is a learning experience, then you can take care of them in training hours. So,
all right, so let's move to this final section here. If you're talking to a technician, they're moving them to flat rate. What are the things you're saying to have them make the most out of their flat rate? How to get them to understand the importance of making sure the car is good. If you just want to go into that, like if you're going to really break it down for them, what is the just the most important things to do to make that flat rate worth it for them to really push themselves to earning?
I would say believing that every vehicle in the shop is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for so many reasons, and we covered that on the MPI segment, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but when a car comes into the shop, it's very important that the technician goes through it top to bottom, because there's so many other repair facilities down the road that may potentially get that car if it pulls in with a flat tire and say, oh, you need brakes too, and we missed it. So I think going through the car thoroughly, making sure that they check for safety items, maintenance items, and all the above, and bringing that to the advisor's attention is really, really important.
Also, it's super important for the customer too. They need to know exactly what's going on with their car, the levels of tires or brakes and all that stuff.
And if you guys refer back to the MPI segment, then I mean you'll see how important the MPI is and all the benefits to the customer that it has. But I would say that process being in place in the dealerships is what helps these guys produce those hours.
So JP, what do you got?
I mean, when I talk to guys and we're moving them to flat rate, we talk to them about that it's the opportunity for them to really earn more. But we tell them it's not easy. You know, we're pretty transparent with that it's not easy to be a flat rate tech. And, you know, when you're at work, the idea is to work while you're at work. And it sounds funny to say that, but the successful technicians are the ones that they put their head down and they work. And they're not on their phones, they're not socializing, they're not taking long lunch breaks. So I kind of let them know, if you're that guy that you got a strong work ethic, you know, you're going to be successful at it. You just put your head down and work.
Yeah, I mean, that's very well. So at the end of the day, first off, if you're going to get a new job and someone says flat rate, make sure they explain your potential of how to do flat rate and make sure they're having enough work coming in the door. So is there anything else, last comments on flat rate for new technicians or someone that wants to start a career and working on vehicles?
I mean, for anybody out there that doesn't believe in it and wants to bash it, I would say don't knock it till you try it. You know, I was successful as a technician. The guys that work under me are very successful as technicians, and our crew has been with us for a long time. You know, if it wasn't working, I don't think we'd see these guys in the shop.
It's at every single one of our facilities, so it goes to say something.
And I don't think we talked about like what kind of hours some of the technicians in our dealer group are doing. There's technicians that, and maybe they're putting in a 55-hour week because they're putting in some time, but they're making 100 hours of production a week. There's some guys in some of the truck centers making 120 hours of production a week in a 50-hour week, plus all those bonuses. And it's not like, I didn't want people to think like we're talking about making 46 hours instead of 40.
Right.
I mean, there's guys.
Oh, it's big hours.
Big hours.
Yeah, I guess we should have covered that.
Yeah, but that's like super important to understand. It comes back as like there's no cap on anything. It's your own destiny. We guide you, we help you, we give you the work. But really, it comes down to your work ethic and getting it done.
And if you're working for a good organization where they're transparent and they're showing you what you're doing and where you're at throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the day, that helps so much. We could go, you know, some of your ideas with driving the technicians by showing their hours daily was huge. That was a big change that we made at Chrysler, where it was, as long as we've got the hours at the end of the week, we're good. You're really not. If you can put those hours in daily and show them the next day where they're at, they're going to stay driven. So
yeah, it's another great thing we do. We're always having it in your face so you know where you stand. Yeah. Like, and you can see guys towards the end of the week, they'll really push it. They'll be like, "Hey, I got to get this done before the weekend." Like, you see it. I mean, you guys see it every day. But I want to touch on one other thing. Is if someone's looking and they're worried about flat rate, you have to look for your great leadership too. So I don't think we give you guys enough credit of being great leaders. All our service directors do a phenomenal job, and it starts from the top down, and really laying it out there for them and getting them to understand. And I think that's also why you don't see anyone really push back against the flat rate with you guys, like, or anywhere is the leadership and showing them that it's possible to earn your own destiny and make as much money as you like at the end of the day to support your family. So we appreciate you guys just as much as those technicians that are the backbone of the dealership. So. And so anything else, JP?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Covered all the good stuff. Let's see how much hate we are going to get on this. Also, I think a lot of the hate comes from dealerships. I don't want to hate on any dealerships, but dealerships that don't explain it well, don't have the right leadership in place, and
the support.
or support or the training or the career path. We've gotten a lot better at career path too. I think our service teams have gotten a lot better at showing the career path, which, like, for me as a young person, it's good to see.
A lot of that came with retention. You know, you've got to retain your technicians more now than ever. So I think investing in them and spending time with them and making sure they understand and succeed is something that more than likely everybody is doing more than they used to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healy Brothers on all social platforms.